Welcome back to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason, and today we're diving into something really exciting, real-time image recognition with .NET Core and TensorFlow. If you're working on AI projects or just getting started with machine learning, this integration is a game changer. By combining the power of .NET Core with TensorFlow, you can build efficient, real-time image recognition apps that can analyze images on the fly. In this video, we'll walk through advanced techniques and give you real-world examples of how to make this happen. So let's dive in. All right, I'm Spencer Thomason. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and build custom software solutions for companies. I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. Now, as always, we're providing all of this free with code samples, so make sure you go and download it. The link's down below in the description. But we provide all of this code, and you can see there's hundreds of different code samples here, but the whole solution that I'm going to be going over today is all going to be right here in the code. So make sure you go and download these code samples. They're totally free. So let's dive into this code today here, and I'm going to get everything set up here so we can let's start off with our slides here actually. So we're going to run through some slides here and talk a little bit about what TensorFlow is and how this can help you. So let's give you an introduction to image recognition. Image recognition refers to the ability of a system to identify and classify objects within images or video streams as they're captured. It enables various applications from security systems to interactive user experiences in smartphones and augmented reality. So combining technologies like .NET Core and TensorFlow allows developers to build efficient and scalable image recognitions in the systems that they're already building. I know y'all out there have .NET Core systems that you're already building. Let's grab the TensorFlow and start doing some image recognition, because I think there's some huge, powerful things you can do here. So the image captures images, so the system captures images from sources such as webcams or mobile cameras or downloaded images. Images are resized and normalized to ensure consistency. This step involves adjusting colors and scaling to match the model's requirements. So the pre-processed image is fed into a machine learning model like MobileNet that has been trained to recognize various objects. The model analyzes the image and produces predictions about the objects it identifies. Now, the model outputs a set of probabilities for each class or object it recognizes. For instance, it may identify objects like cat, dog, or car with varying confidence levels. The system matches the highest probability to a specific label, allowing users to understand what the model has recognized. So this is amazing, powerful stuff. This seems like almost sci-fi for those of us from a few years back, right? I've been developing for 25 years. This stuff would have been impossible 25 years ago. So this is super exciting stuff. So as always, go download that code sample. We're going to dive into that code sample now, and let's go ahead and get into that code sample. Okay, so we got our code sample up here, and this is a pretty cool code sample. I hope you guys will take advantage of downloading these free, absolutely free code samples. We don't even ask for your email. Although if you want to drop a comment to say hi, we'll always say hi. And if you also want to reach out to me, Spencer@startuphack.com. All right, let's dive in. So we're going to go to this image recognition class, which is pretty much where all the code is. And then we're going to pass it this image, which we've included just as an example. And so let's dive in when it says recognize from images. And let's kind of dive in a little bit here and see what we've got here. So what this guy is going to do here, and I'm just going to unpin that for a minute here. What this guy's going to do is it's going to run through, and we're going to step through and look for these models, right? It's going to pull models from this MobileNet and then also models from this labels.txt, right? And that's the label file and the model file. So it's going to take that model, and this is just a small little model, pretty impressive and amazing that we can just include this. It's going to run that. It's going to create a new graph and set it as the default. It's going to import the model into the graph, and then it's going to create a new session with the graph, right? So this is kind of the image recognition setup for the constructor, right? Next, it will call, because in our program file here, we call recognize from image, right? So the recognize, and collapse this one here for a minute. So that's the predict, recognize from image. So in our recognize from image here, I'm going to actually pause this and turn on my lines. So I've never quite understood why .NET ships without line numbers turned on. I don't know any developer who has ever worked without line numbers. If you're that person, then I guess more power to you, but never understood why .NET ships with that. This is a new machine that I'm doing for recording. So anyways, so we're going to process an image for recognition, right? And so we're going to loop over each of the image in the image path. In our case, we're only going to do one. It'll say processing the image. It'll make a prediction on that image of whether we have, and this logs the image being processed, gets the prediction for the image, and then logs the prediction result about whether that is the prediction or not. So we're going to step through here, and let's go ahead and fire this up and step through the code. Okay, so we've got our output screen over here, and we're going to step through, and I'm going to just go ahead and step into this, step into that one. So it's going to find this one because we only have one image in our path, right? We just have that image that's included. And we're going to say, hey, look, grabbing the image, and you can see the output over here, right? So it loaded everything up, and now it says it's processing the image. It's going to make a prediction on this. Let's dive into the prediction here. So it's going to load the image. It's going to then retrieve, so it takes a second here because it's loading up the image. It's going to retrieve the input and output tensor from the graph using their names. So this will then do the input and then grab the output. So we can see the results of the output here, right? And see an ID. We can see what the input was and the outputs here, right? And so again, this is pretty technical, but it's running through this, and then it's going to actually say, specify the output tensor to receive, feed the processor tensor into the input. It's going to then give us our results and give us that probability. So if you see this here, you can say, okay, optimization pass is not enabled. It's kind of running some things here, and it's going to give us that output and return the label, return the prediction label here. So let's see what we get for and so it's going to return that prediction label. So it's going to say prediction for image with this label, and it's going to give us that output. So it says, hey, image 1 is safe to say that is what we predicted, right? And so that's pretty amazing, because then it loops through all, destroys all the windows, and finishes. So pretty amazing that in just a handful of lines of code, we've given you a great sample here of some amazing AI that's actually checking to see what is in that image. Now, we probably should open up that image here. Let's go take a look at what that image is here. So it's a hairbrush, right? And as we look through that, we can see the hairbrush. And as we look through our labels here, let's see if there's a brush in here. We got a paintbrush. Let's see what other things it has. So, oops. Let's see here. So it came through with a pretty safe assumption that hairbrush, maybe it's calling it something else. I don't know, maybe it's calling it a comb or something. I'm not sure. We'd have to break down and see exactly what it was that it matched to and which item it matched to. But it's seeing that one of these labels was matching. And so that's pretty impressive if you can identify an object looking for that. So this is just a little piece of sample code. Again, pull it down, play with it. Lots of great stuff here. I just really think that this is really an exciting time to be working in development, where it's so easy to load this kind of stuff up. Here at Startup Hack, we love training software developers in our coding bootcamp and in working with companies to build custom software solutions. So hit us up. I'm Spencer at startuphack.com, or check out startuphack.com/Spencer, and we'll catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.